This is one of those things that me and my brother's a owner operator. He's a carrier. I'm not a carrier, but he's a carrier. He got a lot more experience than I do. And when we have conversations, we always when we talk about guys or we talk about the good trucking jobs, right? And we're both we feel like we're good where we are, but I hear my brother a lot of times. He's like, "Yeah, man, sometimes you want to get your good, company job and get all your benefits taken care of, and when something happens with the truck, you ain't got to worry about fixing it and all of that good stuff." And in our own mind, we have companies that come to mind when we use that term, a good company job, right? What would you what warnings would you give to a new truck driver or a truck driver that's about to get one of those quote unquote good company jobs? Are there any warnings that you would give them? Things that they should be looking out for, things that they should be thinking about, things that they should be considering, right?
Great question. And I probably, of course, I always have something to say. so I'm gonna say something. I
Uh-huh.
probably wouldn't frame it in the context of a warning, because a warning, it almost seems as if, oh, you better watch out for this. There are perils out there. Listen, at the end of the day, if you got a company job, it's a job,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's in trucking or whether it's in whatever it may be, it's a job. If you have a job, you can lose a job. If you've been hired, you can be terminated. Simple laws of polarity.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would say is this, speaking from my own experience, I've been trucking since 1998. I've had my own side business in addition to trucking since 2002. And what I've learned is, if you, you know, if you want to be able to generate some extra income, I would encourage you to do it, because what happens is this. A lot of times we think we can't do it. Yes, you can. I've had I've always been a full-time worker, and I've had a side business that makes more in my sleep than what I could ever make on somebody's payroll. And then I've had it go completely south. But but the point is this. Um, I would encourage anybody who has a company job, celebrate that company job. Be the best employee that you can be. But if it's in you, go ahead and start your own little thing on the side as well. You'd be surprised of how, what it does for you, what it does for your peace of mind, what it does for your sense of control over your life is it's priceless. You know, if you're going to be simply an employee and that's as far as you're going to take it, there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to understand, you were hired, you can be fired. The company's in business, that means the company could go out of business. Okay. And you can't, and we do this subconsciously. We're not a lot of times cognizant. We're not thinking that, hey, I've gotten so comfortable and I've gotten to a point where I'm taking this job for granted as if it's always going to be there. Okay. If you're not going to get your own business, that's fine. Put money aside, realizing that anything could happen. This is life, guys. Just
Mm-hmm.
because you found a good job, well, you know what? At one time, Pontiac was a good job if you worked for Pontiac. There ain't no more Pontiac deals.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, that's just an example, probably not a good one. But the point is this: what you consider a good job, it's good for right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it to frame it as a warning, but we can do that. Make sure you have some other way of generating income that you control. If not, make sure you're setting back money for a rainy day, because this is life. Life is like the seasons. So
Yeah.
that's how I would answer that question. I hope I I hope I gave
No, that was good. That was good. I mean, I would absolutely frame that as a warning. In my world, the world I come from, my viewers, not all of them, but I've heard comments on my channel before, or I won't even say on my channel. I've seen comments before like, well, if you're doing something else, some other type of thing in trucking, that means that you must not be doing good at trucking. You
Mm.
know, and like, you know, so many things that you just now said, I would most certainly say are true for people that's in trucking, because it's easy to get comfortable if you have a job in trucking. It's easy to treat it. It's easy to take it for granted and treat it like things will always continue to be like they are. Going a little bit wider. I've heard that, under Obama, and I may be a little bit incorrect about this, but the economy experienced like 10 years of economic growth. And then like, it's easy to get used to easy money in situations like that. Again, you think that things are going to always continue like they are, especially when the economy is growing for 10 years. And then when the inevitable happens, because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, right? When the
Absolutely.
inevitable happens, you're not prepared for it because you let your guards down. And some people would be naive enough to blame that on trucking. There's people out here that are pissed with trucking, the industry, as if the rules that govern trucking supersede life. And like you just now said, like, it's not, you can't even blame it on trucking. It's life.
It's
If the
life.
pandemic taught us anything, it should be that, anything can happen.
Yes.
Anything can happen, and you wanna protect yourself. So to me, it's not I don't care how much you making on your job or self-employment or whatever. You should always be looking to protect yourself. You should always be looking to hedge your bets. You should always be looking to put some safeguards in place. And whether that safeguard is going to be, let me go ahead and start something else now, a derivative of what I'm doing, just because I kind of already got the momentum going in this way anyway. So let me just let some of that spill over to something else that I start for myself. Or whether you just say, you know what, I don't want to start nothing else. I'm just going to make sure that I don't spend everything that I make. I'm gonna do everything I can, because that's called income creep. That's a natural thing that happens in life, where the more we make, the more we tend to spend. And if we don't do anything to stop that from happening, every time we get a raise, we'll find ourselves spending more money. Every time we start making more money, we'll find ourselves spending more money. And the key is to have some space in between what you bring in and what's got to go out. That's where your freedom is going to come from. So it's like, okay, I might not want to start a side business. You might just want to make sure you keep your living expenses at 50% of what you make, so that you can save/invest that other 50% in some area that that you're well versed in, so that you're not risking your money. It's like, I'm investing in things that I know about, right? So, but I mean, I don't want to get too far off on that. The point is, there's a bunch of different ways that you can protect yourself and hedge your bets. What you don't want to be doing is conducting yourself in a way that things are good now and things are gonna always continue to be good.
And can I say, add a little something to that? Because what you're saying is literally, for me, is profound. And it ties into what I said about when I was working a union job. There's that union environment, there's that group think, and what ends up becoming important to you and what you focus on, a lot of that is being influenced by the thinking that's around you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when you were talking about, okay, you're just sort of spending your money and thinking that it's going to be here. A lot of times, even if you're an owner operator, where are you getting your thinking from? The people that you're around. And that could be people that led you to independent trucking. That could be the boards, the message boards, or whatever, social media. You're being influenced. And you mentioned, hey, maybe you should hedge your bets. But if you're not around the type of thinking that's saying, hey, look, here's a side business that I'm doing, that's how you get influenced. You start spending time with me, and every time you turn around, hey, what are you doing, Horace? Oh, I'm about to go send these orders out. Do this real quick. Really? And over time, you say, okay, well, show me that. And you believe that it can be done because now you're friends with somebody that's doing it. So many of us, when it comes to businesses outside of trucking or whatever, or even trucking, how many people got into being an owner operator because they saw someone that they know that's doing it? So there was no disbelief. Somebody was saying, hey, here's how you do it. I'm doing it. So I believe. And so if you don't have a person around you that's saying, hey, I got this business on the side and it's doing this and that, you're not going to get that influence. And I'm hoping that maybe I can start to do that. I don't want to get all off into it, but I've been teaching people how to make money online part-time since 2017. I have a channel. We can get into that later.
We're gonna get into that.
Just drop a link. It doesn't matter. I'm here for that. But I want to be able to influence truckers in particular to tell them, hey, look, here's a way that you can do it, and here's how I'm doing it. And I have over 400 videos that teach how to do it. So there's no mystery. I put my phone number out there. You can call me, you can email me, text me, whatever. I want to be able to help if it's for you. It's like you said, it's not for everybody. You know what I mean? And a lot of times when you get into social media, we want to influence people and tell them this is what you should think is important. This is how you should be directing your extra energy and time. No, if it's in you, it's in you.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times you're not being exposed to the thinking that you need to be exposed to. So that's all I wanted to say about that.
100%. I agree. I totally agree. Exposure is key. Absolutely.